This is Gavin. I just wanted to make a quick little video regarding the evolution of what's going to end up being a major snowstorms, what it's looking like for the Northeast, Winter Storm Gail, and just showing the very start of it over here in Missouri and actually from my neck of the woods in Southeast Missouri. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys what we're dealing with over here. Again, when I say this or try to give a forecast analysis, it's not as if I know everything that I'm talking about. I'm just trying to put this on YouTube so I can, like I've said in in some of my past videos, to document what I know about meteorology right now and to see if I can get any pointers from others or maybe even teach somebody. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this and try to explain what I'm looking at from from my standpoint. Again, I could probably be wrong about a lot of things that I say, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a video just so I can, like I said, document my thought process, see what I'm right and wrong about, come back to it, learn from my mistakes, and go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this. As you can see, there's a large amount of precipitation throughout the Midwest and the Southern Plains, and this is what's going to turn into Winter Storm Gale. Now, I will go ahead and jump over to Weather Underground's radar so you can see the frozen precipitation versus the regular rain. And the freezing line is well south down into southern Arkansas and southern Oklahoma right now. So there's a big portion of Kansas and Oklahoma, Missouri, and central to north Arkansas that just saw some snow that's getting some snow now. Today is December the 15th. There was another snowstorm that came through 2 days ago on the 13th in northern Arkansas. There's a video up on my channel regarding having a little bit of a forecast analysis on it as well. I'll put a link for that in the description. But it's interesting. I'll go ahead and zoom in here to northeast Arkansas, Missouri, and you can see these pockets of what would be snow up here by this is kind of by, I believe, would be Ash Flat, Arkansas, about 50 or so miles east of Mountain Home up there, where that we saw quite a bit of precipitation, snow yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry. You can see the signatures over Jonesboro, northeast Arkansas, down toward Memphis. Now, as you can see from Weather Underground's radar image, the freezing line would be right in line with the Mississippi and Tennessee border there. So from about here north is about where that snow and rain line is. But just updated, as you can see, that the moisture heading up to the northeast. But from our local news station, it seems as if none of this snow that we're seeing here is actually reaching the ground because the the air is so dry, and when the ice crystals that would be snow fall from the clouds and it passes through that dry layer, they're actually evaporating. So we haven't seen up here in northeast Arkansas and southeast Missouri, we haven't seen any snow reports. But we're hoping to see a little bit, at least for the snow lovers out there. It is quite cold. A lot of people don't like it. I love being able to see snow, like, as I'm not used to it at all. But hopefully it's about 5 o'clock, right, 5 p.m. right now on December 15th. So I hope we will see just a little bit of snow later on tonight. Probably looking more towards about 7, 8 o'clock before we actually see any flurries or a light snow shower. But I will go ahead and play this animation from Weather Underground, which is the current radar, and seeing where this where Winter Storm Gale is going to where it's going to be coming from, and I will also show the models of where it's trending to go up into the Northeast in Pennsylvania and New York, in the I-95 corridor up there. So as I play that, it looks as though the portions of Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri are going to get quite a bit of snow, but the models from the GFS and the European models, they haven't been predicting hardly any accumulation. Now, I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of information from this area up in here in northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri. I am sure over here towards Tulsa, Panhandle of Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Norman, Oklahoma. I'm fairly certain they're getting some pretty significant accumulations for that neck of the woods. Last model that I've seen brought about anywhere from a dusting to about 6 inches, and I imagine the southern Kansas is getting quite a bit of snow as well. But like I said, there's just so much dry air over the region here in the eastern parts of Arkansas and Missouri that we're just not seeing anything right now. But so that's what's happening right now with the birth of Winter Storm Gale over here in the Midwest. So I will go ahead and show the GFS model and then the European model for what Winter Storm Gale's track is looking to be. It's looking to be, as of now, quite a significant snowstorm for portions of the Northeast. Now we'll go over here and I will show you the GFS that was just initialized about an hour ago. So this is you're looking at it right now. We're looking at 6 p.m. on December 15th, which is about an hour from now. And as you can see, the GFS is actually doing a pretty accurate job of not having that precipitation show up, even though it is in the atmosphere. It's not reaching the ground as of now, or at least there's no reports of it in my area. That could very well change here in the next few hours. But as of now, the GFS is doing a good job of not actually putting that on radar since it's not reaching the ground. Now, as we go ahead about 12 hours, we can see the GFS is again doing a really good job of not picking up that moisture over there in northeast Arkansas and southeast Missouri because it's just so dry. But as we move into about 6 a.m. on December 16th, you can see that moisture really started to pick up after it leaves the Mississippi embayment, which would be this region right here. After it gets past those lower elevations, it gets starting into the Ohio Valley. You can see that moisture really started to pick up along with that cold air. Now, the rate snow line is a lot more north than I expected, but that's due to the trough that dips down here in Arkansas and Missouri. But as Winter Storm Gale makes its way through, that cold air will definitely make its way up to the northeast. So we'll go ahead and go another 6 hours here to noon on December 16th, and as you can see, that rain snow line is still pretty far north. Um, but you can see the snow is really going to start picking up on the sixth in the middle of the day on the 16th for portions of West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, even and really Pennsylvania, which in my opinion is going to get the worst of this snowstorm, which again could be a very significant snowstorm based on the models and what they're putting out. But look into 6 p.m. on December 16th, and that's when Winter Storm Gale is really starting to crank up. You can see the entire state of Pennsylvania just getting cranked with really heavy snow. And this is quite interesting to me. You can see the low pressure system is sitting right over the coast of Virginia there. Now, depending on where the rain and snow line is right now, places like Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, or excuse me, Philadelphia, places like that could either see about a foot of snow or anywhere from none to an inch, just because of one, where the low pressure system, when it decides to go east, and how far east it goes and how soon. That and where the rain and snow line is actually going to be when it gets over there toward the northeast. And again, that is something that the models are disagreeing on between the NAM, the GFS, and the European models been going back and forth between that rain and snow line and the low pressure system within the last day. But as we move toward the actual date of the storm, those models will start to consolidate and they should start agreeing with each other. At least most of the time they do. But as we go into about midnight on December 17th, that is when this storm is really going to be impacting the Northeast. You can see along the I-95 corridor up here. You do see that's when you may see some of that mixed precipitation. Again, that rain and snow line is going to be really hard to try to predict where that's going to be, and that really dictates how much snow certain places in the Northeast are going to get, such as Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia, could see anywhere from over a foot to a few inches, depending on where that rain and snow line is and how far that low pressure system goes off to the east and how soon it does. But nevertheless, the models are agreeing that this is going to be a major storm for somebody. Definitely up in the Northeast is going to be a potential blizzard, depending on how fast the winds are going to be up there. I couldn't imagine being in a winter, in a snowstorm that intense from given where I'm from and barely seeing a dusting. But um, as we go to December 17th at about 6 a.m., you can start to see that storm is still really strong into portions of move my cursor out of the way for you. Sorry about that. Really just still in Pennsylvania, leaving some light snow showers over portions of Ohio and the Ohio River Valley into West Virginia. Really putting snow down in the Boston area and New Jersey and Connecticut. Really, the Northeast and New England right now is just really getting hammered by Winter Storm Gail. As we go forward another 6 hours, excuse me, you can see that low pressure system finally starting to shoot its way east, given the GFS model here. So I will go ahead and show you guys the snowfall total forecast for the GFS, and then I'll compare that to the European model over on Pivotal Weather. So as you guys can see from the predicted snowfall totals from the GFS, eastern to northeastern Pennsylvania, according to the GFS, is going to see major snowfall totals anywhere from about 15 inches to about 2 feet, extending down into as far south as South Carolina down in there, including portions of the Ohio Valley. And you can see it dumped quite a bit of snow over in Kansas and Oklahoma as well, and stretching into the Ozarks. Now, here in a second, I will show you guys the comparison to the with the European model, but I think it's quite just going on a little bit of a rant here, I guess. I think it's quite amazing how models like this can take a ripple in the atmosphere and extrapolate that so far as to predict a snowstorm like this. I mean, it's amazing what we've been able to do with technology and applying it to meteorology, even with the last. I mean, with meteorology being such a new, relatively new science within the last century. And even in the last few decades, really, I mean, it's truly amazing to be able to look at models like this. Somebody like an average person like myself who just wants to advance their knowledge in meteorology, and I'm able to do that with the technology we have. So I'm grateful for that. But I will show you guys the GFS compared to the European model. Pivotalweather.com, you can see the European model compared to the GFS with its total snowfall uh, throughout December 17th or the 18th, I should say, with what Winter Storm Gale ended up dumping throughout the Midwest and the Northeast. And as you can see, the models are starting. The two models, GFS and the European model, are starting to consolidate quite a bit. With the European maybe just being a little bit more. Giving with the snow amounts here. You know, you can see in central Pennsylvania here about 2 foot. So really, the GFS and the Euro are finally starting to come together after they battled it out over the past few days. But as you can see, Winter Storm Gale is going to be quite impactful for the Northeast, regardless of the track it does take. You can see Pennsylvania getting quite a bit of snow as well as portions of Virginia, Maryland. Now, I think it's quite interesting to be able to see if you go. Sorry, I can't zoom this in for you guys, but uh, places like DC and Philadelphia here, if the storm shifts 50 to 100 miles south, they could be getting about a foot. But if it shifts the other way, if it shifts north of 50 or 100 miles, they could see, you can see the gradient here about a foot, and then 100 miles east or south, you get two inches to nothing. So I think that's absolutely amazing how storms can be like that and just how impactful the gradient is. But I just wanted to make this video. I think it's awesome to be able to analyze a winter storm like this. Even though I'm not going to be able to see a whole much out of it, I think it's awesome to be able to talk to myself, really, but also to anybody who wants to listen. So if anybody is listening to this, I really do appreciate you. I hope if you are listening, feel free to give me some pointers. If my voice is annoying, put it in the comment or something, and I'll try to take it, or I'll try to take it to heart and make my voice less annoying, I guess. I don't know if it is, or if I'm being too nerdy with my explanations, but it doesn't matter anyway. Thank you for watching this. If you did, I appreciate it. See you guys later.